Welcome students to Module 305, Instructional Presentation. In this tutorial we are going to cover how to create an instructional presentation using PowerPoint and some of the techniques that are shown in Module 305 of your textbook. We are going to create this presentation using the famous CRAP principles, which stands for Contrast, Repetition, Alignment, and Proximity. The principle to using contrast is to be very obvious. For example, contrasting a large type font with a small type font, bold text with plain text, capital letters with lowercase letters, thin lines with thick lines, etc. Making it very obvious for the reader that there is a clear difference between points that you are trying to make. With repetition, we mean to follow the same theme throughout your presentation. For example, keep your same fonts or the font styles, keep your same color scheme, your spatial relationships, and have your images roughly the same size. In this presentation, we are also going to cover topics such as adding animations, changing the design and layout of our presentation, and also a very useful tool up here in the slideshow tab, the record slideshow. This is, for example, in case you don't want to make the presentation yourself, you can just create it, record your voice as you're going through the presentation, and then just save it as MP4 extension to play wherever you want to. Now let's start with the design of our presentation. If I mouse over all these themes, I can see that the presentation automatically changes, and when I click on one of them, the rest of my slides also change in the presentation. My pictures are also thrown out of order because the template takes for a different arrangement, so I can just undo it, or I can reposition the images according to how I want them to be. If you want to change colors, if you find a design that you like but you don't like the colors, you can go over to the colors section, customize colors, or you can choose from one of the default preloaded colors that are provided for you with the program. So if I go to customize colors, instead of having a white background, I'm going to put it as slight gray, just so it is easier on the eye and it's not so contrasting with the white. The only problem is that this becomes somewhat hard to see from a distance, so I can just go back and manually change those, for example, to a darker color. And once I do that, I can select it, double click the Format Painter button, and when I go to my slides, I just click on the section that I wanted to change, and it automatically changes it. Same thing with this slide. I go back and change the colors, but it also takes the same size as it was on the previous slide. So I just go back and reset it. Now it is a little easier to look at it. And once you are done formatting, just click once again the Format Painter. The next thing that we can do is add transitions from slide to slide. It gives you a little preview if you click on it. And you just choose the one that you like the best. I'm going to use the wipe transition, and I'm going to go over to the Apply to All button. And as you can see, that there's a little star right next to all of my slides, indicating that a transition has been added. So if I go to play my slideshow, first slide, second, third, fourth, and 5th. The next thing would be to add some animations by going to the Animations tab, and everything looks blank. So we can select our text. Once we select it, we can see that some of them are in green, some are yellow, and some are red. If you want to find out what they stand for, go click here to the Add Animation button, and here it tells you green are your entrances, yellow are your emphasis, and reds are your exits. So we are going to tell it to come in by doing a wheel. Just like that. And under the duration, we are going to say half a second. Let's see how this plays. And there is our animation right there. You can do that for all your text. Just make sure that when you are creating your presentation, to follow the CREP principles, make it contrasting, pleasing to the eye, easy to look at, and do not have a lot of text because you will just bore your reader. Just have your basic ideas and some very small points, some very basic elaboration, and most of your elaboration will come from your speaking. The final thing that we are going to talk about in this tutorial is how to record our slideshow. Going here to the Start Recording from the Beginning. And you can see up on the top left of the screen, the presentation is already recording. So let's begin. This presentation is for the Reflector app and how to use that application on iPad and smartboard. My animation plays just fine on the title Reflector app. The application is available for purchase. It allows you to reflect on a different screen what you have on your iPad or your iPhone. We just go through all of our presentation, all our slides. So once I am done, I can go to File, Save As, Browse. I am going to save it to my desktop as Reflector app, but I am going to say as an MP4 video. It will take a few seconds for the computer to change my presentation into MP4. And here is my Reflector app presentation that was recorded as an MP4 video, and it opens up on Windows Media Player. Let's find out if it actually worked. And you can see up on the top left of the screen, the presentation is already recording. So let's begin. This presentation is for the Reflector app and how to use that application on iPad and smartboard. My animation plays just fine. Okay, we see that it actually works really well. So we're going to exit out of this. This concludes our tutorial on how to create an instructional presentation using PowerPoint.